Hello everybody, Image here, and I'm going to bring you a single set today. This is a game that came highly recommended via the Team Liquid forums between Lomo, who is on the left, the Terran player for Hwaesung OZ, and Upmagic, who is on the right, who is also a Terran player representing Estro. This is from their recent Proleague match that I believe was on the 13th of June. I'll double check that and make sure the information is right when I post the video. This should be an exciting game for a few reasons. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Not the least of which because it's a Terran versus Terran game on destination, which usually leads to some pretty interesting tactical play. That is Lomo in the top position in Teal, and in the red at the bottom is Upmagic. And as I was saying, this is going to be an interesting game, I think, not just because I already know that, because the Team Liquid forum said, like, you have to see this game, it's a pretty unique, exciting Terran versus Terran, but I think that I would have expected it to be that way even if I hadn't been spoiled to that fact. I don't know the result of the game or how it goes, but I think it would have been an exciting game without me having known at least that other people had found it exciting, because these are actually very similar players. This may sound like a bit of an odd thing to mention, but they're players who seem to me as if they would be very evenly matched. They're Terran players who both have similar records in their career play. They both have about a 48.5% overall career win percentage. Their statistics are actually really close in that respect. Both of them are strongest against Zerg. Both of them have reputations for creative play. Lomo particularly with two-port Wraiths. They're slightly different in that their weakest matchups are different. For Upmagic, it's against Protoss. For Lomo, it's versus Terran. Lomo's versus Terran's about 43%. And Upmagic is throwing down that forward barracks that is becoming increasingly standard play on destination. So he's going to look to put on some early marine pressure and get an early scout, and perhaps force Lomo to adapt a bit in the early game to what he's doing, but I don't think it's enough of a big deviation that Lomo is really going to change his play very much in response to this. So these are both, very, very similar players, I would say, and I think they're evenly matched, and it'll lead to an exciting game on that basis. One difference between these two players is that their recent Terran versus Terran records are pretty wildly different. Upmagic is 5-5 in his last 10 versus Terrans, and 2 of those wins have come against Flash, so that's pretty respectable, although you have to wonder why he lost so many of these other games if he was pulling wins from Flash. So perhaps his play has been a little bit inconsistent, but showing flashes of a lot of skill. Speaking of Upmagic, just getting into the game a little bit here, he's got his first Marine over there, and he's going to take out 2 SCVs of Lomos, and see, it doesn't look like he's going to try for any sort of bunker rush, but he is going to manage to have his SCV escape. So this is an early game exchange of 1 Marine for 2 SCVs, and that definitely favors Upmagic. Eventually, this advantage is going to equalize because both players are going to get up to comparable numbers of SCVs again. The ratio of the number of SCVs is not going to be affected nearly as much by those 2 being lost, but the aggregate effect of losing SCVs early is a little bit bigger than losing that same number of SCVs late. So that is going to be an advantage for Upmagic, who's also setting down his expansion faster. Lomo had sent an SCV out toward the middle of the map, and I've kind of lost track of where that's gotten to and what he was planning to do with that. Maybe it was a scout. No, it's a forward factory. So it looks like Lomo's response to Upmagic's early pressure and expansion is going to be to respond to more pressure of his own with while he has this sort of timing window to do it while Upmagic has committed resources to expanding. Upmagic's got his starport going up as well, so this game is, I think, already starting to look a little bit unconventional, and I find it very exciting. I'm not entirely sure how well Lomo's proxy factory plan is going to work here, mainly because Upmagic seems to have enough factory units on the ground to defend against this vulture push. Yeah, the unit numbers out in the field are even, and Upmagic's reinforcements are going to be arriving very quickly because all of the action is going to be taking place at his natural expansion. So I'm not entirely convinced that Lomo is going to make a whole lot of progress here. He will take out one SCV, so that's going to go a long way toward equalizing that early damage, and he might get some more, as Upmagic's been forced to pull a bunch of SCVs to block the ramp. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I was expecting to see units out there faster, but the SCV block there has stalled for long enough for the tank and Wraith to be spotted. And in response to seeing that Wraith, Lomo has got his armory going up to get some anti-air out, and quickly, I think he's still going to be suffering some Wraith harass, or at least he would have if Upmagic had committed to building any more Wraiths or sent that Wraith up to Lomo's base to try to delay the goings on there. But now enough tanks and whatnot are on the ground for Upmagic to be able to hold that expansion, so that's going to be an advantage for him. Lomo's expansion is still under construction, and Upmagic's expansion has been up for a while, so Upmagic is going to be extending his economic lead here some. So I'd say Lomo is still fairly slightly behind, maybe getting to like the low end of moderately behind, but I don't think it's going to be enough of an advantage to carry the game for Upmagic. The fact that this is supposed to be a very interesting game aside. And let's see, Upmagic is going to use his Wraith to harass that barracks and drive it away from scouting. I didn't notice whether an academy had gone up for Lomo, so I don't know whether he's going to have scans to deal with the spider mines that are eventually going to be coming, though it seems that it seems likely to me that Upmagic would have researched siege tech first, and that's probably mines researching for him now, whereas Lomo seems to have committed more to vultures and probably researched mines first because he has mines all over the field. But I don't know if Lomo has placed an academy in an effort to get scans, because it is pretty advantageous to get them first so that you can clear out mines and not be contained by them. For that little strategic hint, I should thank Jotak, who had mentioned that to me in a comment on a previous commentary of mine. So, yes, Jotak, I've taken heed, and I agree. So there's scanners going up for Upmagic, who, since Lomo had been the one laying the mines first and investing in them first, probably makes sense for him to have gotten it first. I think the academy from Lomo would have gone up more in response to the cloaked raids than any concern is about mines. But the academy is also going up for Lomo now, and I'm wondering at what point Lomo is going to pull that forward factory back to his base, and whether Lomo is going to be able to hold on to control over his side of the map so that he doesn't have to move it. In the meantime, big confrontation at these central bridges, and it looks like Upmagic is coming out ahead of that owing to siege mode, though it looks like his progress beyond these bridges, if he decides to push forward, is going to be pretty slow because of all of these mines that are going down. Though Upmagic definitely has more tanks on the go, and he's still got that Wraith floating around.